Hello guys, welcome to another video from Dota. Today I am going to be bringing you a different kind of video that I normally bring. It's going to be a video explaining my hotkeys for Meepo. So it's by far the question I get asked the most in my videos. In the comment section, people always ask me, what are your hotkeys for Meepo? And I guess if you're starting Meepo, you want to play him, you're interested in the hero, it's a very interesting concept, but you're not quite sure what the best hotkey setup for him is. Especially when you're learning the game, hotkeys can be quite a daunting thing. There's a lot of active items in Dota, there's a lot of active abilities. Granted, Meepo has two passives, which makes him a little bit easier with hotkeys, I guess. But I'm going to be talking about what I would say are the best hotkeys for me. But I'm going to talk about kind of maybe two different kinds of hotkeys. One's for starting out for Meepo. It's all about opinion, what feels comfortable for you. But I'm going to tell you what mine are for a start. So just before I enter like a sort of a lobby where it's just me, no one else, like I'm just controlling Meepo, and I can show you what I use as my hotkeys. I'm going to just bring up my hotkey menu here. So let's have a look. 1 second. Okay, so as you can see here, I actually, when you go on cast, okay, so I need to explain the difference between cast and quick cast, but I'll do that in a second. So basically, cast is what you will be used to if you haven't changed your hotkeys in Dota at all. So basically, the way it works is cast, you press, say I'm playing Puck, for example, and I want to cast my orb towards something. You know your I forget what it's the actual name of the skills, but you want to cast your orb towards something. You press Q and then you click on the ground towards where you want to go. So it would bring up a little sort of cursor where you want to go. That's all well and good, and it's fairly decent for accuracy. But once you get later on in the game, and I think you're a bit more comfortable with certain heroes, quick cast, in my opinion, is the way to go because it saves you time. It's not going to save you much time, but it is going to save you time for sure. So for an example, some abilities are naturally quick cast. So for example, Shadow Fiend's ultimate, whenever you press R, it will activate. You do not get a cursor to press where you want it to cast. Enigma's Black Hole, for example, though, will bring up, when you press R, will bring up a cursor of where you want it. It'll also bring up an area of effect of where it affects. So if you're new to the game, using quick cast can be a bit of a disadvantage because you don't actually see the radius of things. So for example, again, Puck's Dream Coil will, when you press R, will bring up like this little hovering AoE circle that you can press to tangle certain people within that AoE. When you use quick cast, it will place it immediately where your cursor currently is in the AoE. So it's the exact same AoE, you just don't see the AoE before you cast it. So you will do the whole press R, you see enemies grouped up, you'll press R with Puck's Dream Coil, it'll go exactly where your cursor is placed. That's the good thing to note with quick cast. Wherever your cursor is where the ability will be cast. Obviously, again, Puck's silence. I know I'm talking about Puck a lot, but Puck's a brilliant example to talk about quick cast. Puck's silence will always go off when you press W, around, in an AoE around Puck. Why I'm talking about this though, you may ask, why are you talking about quick cast and Puck when this is a video about Meepo's hotkeys? Well, that's a good question because when I first started playing Meepo, I did not use quick cast at all. And while it helped me get better at Meepo because I was having to click more, I was having to micro a little bit more, if you actually use quick cast of Meepo, you can eliminate a lot of the clicking time and actual clicks you have to do to execute what you want to do. So I'm gonna show you an example of this. Basically, before I do that, actually, I'm just gonna quickly run through what my hotkeys are. I've just set this as 7 because I accidentally quick cast. But say if I wanted to cast things, I go Alt Q, Alt W. Oops, done that wrong. Alt E, Alt W. I have to set that back to W. Alt. Actually, that's the ultimate, so that's D, Alt F, Alt R. The reason it's Alt is because my quick cast are Q, W, E, D, F, R. So we're talking about some people will set their spells to 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5. I don't like doing that personally. I really don't recommend that if you want to play Meepo, because I use 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to select each individual Meepo, especially when I'm playing Chen and Enchantress. I'll also have the main hero on 1, and I'll have the secondary creep on 2, and another creep on 3. Maybe if I've got another creep, I'll have it on 4. So any units I have, like Necro creeps, I can hotkey there. I always have them on 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5 because they're above the QW and R where I have my hand normally. So I can it's a very small movement to get to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's very natural for me. So what I'm saying is basically, I would recommend, if you're talking about my hotkeys, then I use quick cast Q, W, E, D, F, R for my abilities. This is very, very helpful when using Poof, which I'm going to demonstrate in a minute. Um, it's It is, however, not so handy when using your net because you don't necessarily see the range and you don't necessarily see the circle that pops up when you're casting Q. So if you're new to Meepo, using quick cast net could be a bit of an issue for you, but using quick cast poof is really going to help you execute your blink poofs better. So for the purpose of this video, my normal casts are going to be Alt Q, so this will bring up the cursor. So if I do Alt Q, it'll bring up the cursor to cast something. So we're going to get straight into a game here. Well, not a game. I'm just going to get straight into a little lobby here. I'm going to create a lobby. Going to do it on the Radiant side. Going to put cheats on in case I need to show you any, so I could just get a quick blink dagger and stuff. And I think that's good, so I'm going to start game. So I'm just going to quickly load this lobby up, guys, to show you some examples of the advantages of quick cast. So as I said, my abilities Q, W, E, D, F, R. You won't need to worry about D and F if you're talking about Meepo. They're for abilities like Perk and Rubik's Spell Steal. You need D and F, but for Meepo you don't need D and F. So I'm just going to load straight in. Meepo. Load them in. This, like, obviously when you're first playing Meepo, let me just turn the sound down a little bit loud. Okay, so obviously when you're learning Meepo, if you've never played him before and you want to learn him, one of the worst things I think you can do is just jump straight into a game with him after never playing with him. Especially, I would say that you could jump straight into a game with most heroes, but with Meepo, loading a private lobby and just practicing hotkeys and stuff is a really good idea. So if you don't know the commands for like loading a private lobby and you put cheats on, you can actually use commands. So I just did dash gold 99999. So I have like pretty much unlimited gold here. Gonna buy myself a blink dagger. Gonna buy myself BCs so I can get around the map. I also want all 5 of my Meepos to demonstrate exactly how this works. So I'm going to level up 25, which will get me all my Meepos. I also need an Agame Scepter, so I have the gold for that. We just need to quickly buy a courier. Unfortunately, we can't upgrade it, so we're going to have to... Not you. We're going to have to wait for Mr. Courier to get to the secret shop. There is probably a command to upgrade the courier, but I don't know it because I've never used it before. But I'm just going to buy these things. I only need the point booster. So obviously, like you see here, quick cast also works on my items. So I just blinked. I just blinked without using the cursor, if you saw. So I'm gonna wait for this to come off cooldown. I'm not gonna put it on WTF right now. If you do dash WTF, it removes all cooldowns. But for now, I'm just gonna show you this. So normally, if you were to use a normal blink dagger without having set it to quick cast, you would have to press. So my hotkey for is F1, F2, F3 for my first 3 items here. So F1 is my boots to travel. I like having blink dagger on F3. It just feels natural to me. You can put it wherever you want. But my items are quick cast as well. So I'm going to show you why I like quick cast items. So like normally if I was to press F3 now, a cursor would come up where I want to blink to. That uses up like what 0.2 seconds, 0.5 seconds of your time. In a pinch though, in a high level game where time really matters, that can, especially on Meepo, that can make the difference between you dying or living. So I just press F3 here, I instantly blink. No cursor comes up. It just blinks to where my cursor is, as you can see. So courier's at the secret shop now. I'm going to buy myself a point booster. Bring that to me. I'm going to go meet the courier to get my 5th Meepo. When I press 2, if you see on the left here, when I press 2, my second Meepo comes up. When I press 3, third, 4, fourth, fifth, fifth. So I press 5, I get number 5, I press 4, I get number 4, I press 3, I get number 3, I press 2, I get number 2, I press 1, I get number 1. If I'm playing any hero, it will be hotkey 1. You can set that in the menu. I'm going to show you where you can set that. That is on options, no hotkey, sorry, and it will be select hero. You can put that to 1. So every time you play hero, you can double tap 1 and it will go straight back to your hero. So say I'm looking up here, seeing what's happening on top lane, double tap 1, go straight back to my first Meepo. If I want to double tap 2, go to my second Meepo, double tap 3. As you can see, just as we see, 4, 5, 3, 2, 1. There you go. So this is why I really like having my Meepos and any other units on 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I really recommend it. So we're going to show the power of quick cast using poof. So all my Meepos are going to regroup here, and I'm going to bring out this one. So this is my main Meepo with the blink dagger. All of my other Meepo clones are just chilling around here together. 2, 3, 4, and 5, all chilling around here, doing whatever they're doing. I could have them farming, doing whatever. Say I see like an enemy here, and I think, oh, I want to go on this guy. See how quickly I managed to do that? Because I didn't have to use the cursor. So if you're new to Meepo, you won't really know what I just did there. Okay, so it may look a little bit confusing. Basically what I did was tab selects for your Meepos. So look on the left here, tab is selected for my Meepos. When I tab, I get their ability lineup. So this is my main Meepo. I want to tab to 2 and poof them to my first one. Tab onto 2. All I have to do is click W with quick cast. All I have to do is click W. I don't then have to use the cursor and click normally. So if I was doing this without quick cast, I'm going to demonstrate what it would be like without quick cast. So I'm going to put that on W right now. Okay, so I'm going to tab to 2's poof is refresh because the cooldown is really small. So I'm going to try and do the same again. See, I have to click. So I press W, I have to click and then do it. So I'm going to show you quick cast. I'm going to show you the blink poof technique, which a lot of good Meepo players would do, without quick cast, and show you how much slower it is and how much tighter it is. It's harder to do. Okay, so all my Meepos there. I might screw this up. Yeah, I screwed up. Okay, yeah, I screwed up. I'm not used to it. Basically, what I was trying to do there, I was trying to tab through and click, tab through and click. I'm not very used to it because I'm used to quick cast. I'm going to try and demonstrate that again. That was a bad demonstration there. So it is. See, I tabbed straight back to the first one, but as you can see, when not using quick cast, it's what usually happens to me and a lot of other Meepo players I've noticed is that you will end up accidentally leaving one Meepo behind. So obviously you can see, even for me, who's played Meepo a lot, not using quick cast and trying to do the mass blink poof technique is really difficult. A lot of people think I use scripts because of the speed that I managed to do it, but the only reason that I managed to do it in such a quick amount of time is because I use quick cast. So I'm going to demonstrate this again, guys. See how much quicker I did that. All of my Meepos came. Very quick time. I had time to poof because I've got my items on quick cast. It was quick. So I'm going to show you another thing. If you could see, like, boxing your Meepos can take up a little bit more time. So I want to do this. That takes up a little bit more time than holding control. So if you didn't know, guys, there's a hotkey option, which is, I think it's in options. It's one of these here. Holding Alt highlights heroes. Edge pan, draw hero's name icon on map. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong one. Maybe it's on hotkeys. There's an option to hold control to select all heroes. Unified unit orders. There you go. Unified unit orders. You want this ticked. I would recommend this to every single player in the game. Have this ticked. The reason being is that it, in my opinion, is quicker than boxing. I mean, I can box very quick here. But when all your Meepos, say your Meepos are split up, say you got some Meepos up here, you got a Meepo like here, being really aggressive, maybe you've got a couple in Roshan, and you want them all to move here to retreat here. You control click here, and they'll all move. Control click there, I can move around without boxing. Just all I'm doing right now, guys, is holding control. Holding control, all of them are clicking. I want to bring them off there. Say I've got 2 farming here, and the rest farming hit up here. Oh, there's someone engaging me. I need to engage them. Control click over here. See, control makes unified unit orders makes Meepo a little bit more manageable. It means you have to do a bit less clicks. So I'm going to show you the problem with quick cast now, guys. So Obviously, you've seen my quick cast hotkeys for Meepo. You've seen that I use 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to select my Meepos. You've seen that I use F1, F2, F3 for my first few items. These are all quick cast, by the way. But I'm going to show you the problem with quick cast net. So I'm going to quick cast net over here. It instantly netted. But if you could see, if I try net out of range, you're going to see what happens. When you usually cast a net, it will bring up the circle of where you can cast it. I'm going to try and cast this out of range. You can see he has to run. I don't actually see where it is. You know, I cast the net, but you don't actually see the radius of where it's going to affect. You can pretty much tell where it's going to affect by the sort of size of the net, but you can't actually see where abouts it's going to land. It's going to land at your cursor, but it's a little bit on the fly, especially when you have multiple nets flying out. It's a little bit overwhelming. So I'm going to put this back onto cast, and you're going to see the difference. So I press Q, and it brings up this. This is a lot easier if you're starting me, but you can see it's actually it's a pretty sizable radius. I am able to catch all 3 of these creeps. They were heroes, I'd catch all 3 of the heroes. Normally, if I'm using quick cast, you don't actually see the radius of where it's going to affect. So if you're not used to AoEs, using quick cast with net can be a little bit of a disadvantage of you. So I would recommend, if you're going to play Meepo, and you know you're going to play Meepo before you start the game, is presetting your hotkeys. So I would definitely have poof on quick cast. The rest of your hotkeys past here don't matter because you only have 2 actives on Meepo. I would definitely have your blink dagger on quick cast for sure, so I can just blink around the map by pressing it. It's a lot quicker than using the cursor technique, I think. And I would put your net on cast. So you've got quick cast here. Have your you're for sure gonna want your poof on quick cast, so your W, and I'd recommend having your net on Q. So as you can see, like I'm chasing someone down. I see that they're running, I tab, cast another, I tab, cast another, I tab, cast another, tab to 5, cast the last one. I can basically keep someone locked down if I tab net. If I time it right, I can basically keep someone locked down. You see, I'm going to poof down this creep wave by just tapping W a few times. So tab W, tab W, tab W. You don't even need to click where you want them to poof. As long as your cursor is hovering over where you want the poofs to happen, they will all come to there. So as you can see, I'm just going to hover my cursor here, do the tab poof, and look what happens. They all come to my first Meepo. It's super easy, guys. People seem to have this weird concept that whenever I play Meepo, or a lot of people use scripts, and that baffles me because the way the quick cast poof works is insanely easy. Honestly, it really is. As long as you just don't fumble your keys. I could do it all day. Like, it's not hard. You don't need a script. You don't need like lessons on how to do it. If you just use that technique, do it a few times, you'll get really used to it. So I say, see, a support's taking the rune top. I see him. Oh, I messed that up. My blink dagger was on cooldown. But yeah, if my blink dagger wasn't on cooldown, I would have blinked here. All my Meepos would have come in top. They would have taken all the poof damage, and my Meepos could have gone. And then I could have gone, oh, there's a support here. Gonna net him up. Gonna net him up, start clicking him, do the attack move order, so Control A, click, they will all start attacking whatever is there. So say I want a jungle, I want 2 and 3 to jungle here, 2 A click, 3 A click, 4 A click, 5 A click, and you're going to see all my Meepos are going to march off and do the order I told them to do. Sometimes if these Meepos are a bit close to here, they'll start attacking this camp. As you can see, 2 and 3 are attacking here. They make short work of it. Going to move them over there. Box them. A click over there. These guys are making short work of this. A click over there. So usually once you get 5 Meepos, you can have 2 per jungle camp. So that's pretty much my hotkeys, guys. I'm going to show you one of the disadvantages of having quick cast on your items, though. This doesn't really apply to Meepo, but I would recommend playing most heroes using quick cast is good. I've recently got into it. It's a good technique. It's a good option to have. So I'm going to buy a BKB. Okay, this is a sort of risk of using quick cast. Sometimes you can waste abilities. This doesn't apply on Meepo. It really doesn't apply on Meepo. You can maybe accidentally use your hex if you have it on F2 or whatever your hotkeys are. I would recommend using F1, F2, F3. Some people won't. You could use, for example, C, D, V for these if you want to. I would definitely recommend having these first three on quick cast, especially a blink. I do put that on blink. I do put that on quick cast. I'm going to show you the disadvantage. Say I want to TP here, but I fat finger F2. My BKB goes off. I waste a 10-second charge, and I do this fairly often. So say this doesn't really apply to Meepo, but I just want to put the warning out there that if you're using quick cast items, usually when you want a BKB, you won't automatically use it straight up like that. You'll have to click it again. So what I usually do is I have my bottom three item hotkeys on Alt 1, Alt 2, F3. When I press Alt 1, it will not select my first Meepo. I press Alt 2, I'm pressing Alt 2 right now, it won't select my second Meepo. Pressing Alt 3, it won't select my third Meepo. It'll select my item that I have there. So if I buy, like, say I buy, we're just gonna put this on WTF mode and refreshes hotkeys and refreshes cooldown, sorry. So I'm gonna put this on Alt 2. When I press Alt 2, see that makes it easier. So I have to hold Alt to use my BKB. I mean, I can just constantly use it because it's WTF. It goes straight down to 5. But as you can see, if I hold Alt, it's not as easy to fumble Alt 2 as it is to fumble Alt as it is to fumble F2. F2 is very easy. Say I want to blink. Oh, I accidentally activate my BKB, but it's on Alt 2. I'm blinking all day. I can't really accidentally press Alt and 2. So just for reference, guys, I would say put your sort of items that you don't want to waste here. So like say you had a refresher, you don't want to waste it and accidentally use it. Put it on Alt 1 just for safety. If you're, you know, especially when playing micro-intensive heroes, you can accidentally start pressing things. So Alt 1, Alt 2, F3. Alt 3, sorry. Getting tangled on my words a bit. I hope there's nothing I've left out. I mean, I have ranted on a bit about the same things. So just to summarize, I would recommend for learning Meepo, put your net on cast Q, put your poof on quick cast W. These two don't matter, and then you want F1, F2, F3, or C, D, and V. Make sure all of these first three are quick cast, and then Alt 1, Alt 2, Alt 3, or Alt C, Alt D, Alt V, as your sort of safe items that you don't want to waste on your last three. I would really recommend that, guys. It'll take a little while to get used to for sure, but I really think it's worth it. And also having my Meepos from 1 to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see on the left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Makes it really easy for me, at least. It makes it so, say if I'm in an engagement, I see 3's getting really low, I've got them boxed, I press 3 and retreat him. Put the rest of them on the enemy hero. They start attacking him, they geostrike him slow, and I can just, or I need to TP him out real quick, I TP him. Issue is with TP and quick cast though, guys, one thing that's worth noticing, if I want to double tap TP to go home, I double tap it, it goes straight here. Because it goes off the first tap. You see? It goes off the first tap. If I wanted to TP home with quick cast, I'd have to put my cursor on the base and then press F1 and it'll go back to base. That's worth noticing, guys. So usually I'll have like a TP scroll here on Alt 1, so I don't accidentally TP to like the tower right next to me. I'm going to go over some options that can help you with Meepo as well, guys. They're my hotkeys. Hopefully you got all of that. I know it's a little bit, you know, maybe replay the video a couple of times if you don't get it all in one listen. I'm just going to bring my Meepos out of the tower. So I'm going to go through a few options that I would recommend having on and off. Auto attack, you want that off. Auto attack after spell. The issue is with this is if you attack click a camp, your Meepos will usually, if you say you poof down at camp, after the poof, your Meepos won't then automatically attack the camp that they just poofed. So I'm going to show an example of this just quickly for you guys. I'm gonna TP down number 3 here. He's gonna say my main guy's top. I'm not really paying much attention to number 3, but he's gonna farm for me. So I'm gonna put him on give him a bit easier camp than that. Okay, so we got these slow voids. So I'm gonna press W, and you can see I pressed the W. He's now not attacking because I have this option turned off. I have auto attack after spell turned off. If this was turned on after that poof, he would then begin attacking, so it adds a bit more micro. I have to then realise that I've just poofed with him and A-click. So we'll start A-clicking these and click them down. If I put this on, you're going to see a difference. So I would recommend turning this on for Meepo. It will make your life a little bit easier. This is automatically on, but I turn it off usually for if I'm playing support, so you don't accidentally take last hits off your carry. So I'm going to poof him again. And as you can see, he's aggressed on them now. He's poofed, and he automatically starts attacking them, so it saves some time. So if you're playing Meepo, I would recommend putting auto attack after spell. After playing Meepo, I recommend turning this off again, because it's not very good if you play as support. If you cast a ability, say you're Crystal Maiden, you cast a Frost Nova, you'll then start attacking the creeps, which you can take last hits off your carry with. We're going to go down the list now. Auto purchase items, no, you definitely want that turned off. Auto select summoned units, I have this turned off, because if you say you summon a Necro, it'll auto select them. You don't want that in the middle of a team fight. Double tap abilities to self cast, I like this on. So we're going to see this right now. If I wasn't on quick cast, if I double tap W, he would self cast it. See, now he just queues it up. But if you weren't using quick cast poof, if you double tap W, you just poof on the spot. Same with a TP. Unified unit orders, 100% you want that on. Teleport requires stop. This is really nice so you don't accidentally cancel your teleport. So sometimes, say I'm TPing bottom on number 1. If I'm clicking now next to him, look, he's not moving. It requires you to press S to stop the TP. Not moving, see? I'm trying to move him, he's not moving. I have to press S to stop him. So that's really nice if you often find yourself accidentally cancelling your teleports. I would click that. Holding Alt highlights heroes, have that turn on. Show players' names over health bar, that's just whatever, you can have that on if you want. I like to have it on, you don't need to. Show hit points over player health bar, have that on. Show shop always uses hotkeys. I need to turn it off, I don't like that on. Some people will have that on, but for new players I really wouldn't recommend it. It's mainly for people who really know the hotkeys for buying. That's something I need to get used to, but for the most part I find it very hard to get used to it. Basically you'd click the corresponding hotkeys to buy each of these items, which speeds up buying a little bit. If you're at the higher end of Dota and you're really comfortable with that, obviously have that turned on, but I wouldn't have that turned on if you're new to Dota. Use broadcaster stats, have that on. You don't need these. Minimap, use simple colors and minimap, I have that off. Hide minimap background, I have that off as well. Draw hero icons in minimap, I have that on, because then if I see, usually it'll have crosshairs, so it'll have crosses, so like, say Axe is coming to gank me bottom, and he's blue, it will be a blue crosshair. With that option turned on, it will be Axe's face, so I'll know it's Axe. I won't have to look up here and say, oh, who's blue? Oh, it's Axe, shit, I need to get back. I'll instantly see who it is. So you see all my Meepos also have their little Meepo faces to represent the hero. Another option I like having that on. Names, icons, always on map, I have that ticked as well. Draw a minimap on right, that's just if you're used to League of Legends, you can have the minimap on the right. I really dislike that, so you know, if you come from League of Legends, that can make the game a little bit more make it you a little bit more used to that, so you look on that side for the map rather than the left. I personally have that off. If you're a Dota 2 player and you don't play League of Legends, have that off. If you're a League of Legends player that's coming to Dota 2 and you want to try out Meepo or whatever, have that turned on. I think that would be nice for you. These are my camera settings. I have camera deceleration onto 14 and camera speed up to 49. This is whatever's comfortable to you guys. My mouse sensitivity is also 1100. It doesn't display it here. If that matters to you at all, guys, I would just play around with that to whatever's comfortable for you. I don't like deceleration up too high though, it's really weird for me. Reverse camera grip, I have that off. Edge pan, I have that on. I would really recommend having that on. That means if I do this, I move up on the screen. Do this, I move down. So it just really helps with moving around and locating things. I really would recommend having that on. Enable screen shake, don't have that on. Unless you really like immersion and you're playing Sand King and you want to feel really epic when you land when you land a brilliant epicenter, but I would really not have that on. Move camera on respawn, I don't have that on, so when you respawn, normally if you have that on, you will instantly ping back to here. I like to have it around wherever I'm looking so I can instantly TP up there, get straight into the action. Smooth drag camera when spectating, I have that off because I don't usually spectate much. Camera color shift when dead. This will just indicate when you're dead, it'll go a bit grayer. You don't need to have this on, but it'll if you're not paying attention to your respawn timer and you don't have this on, you can sometimes think that you're still dead when you're not. So I would have that on, just especially when you're new to the game. And this is then just your profile stuff, which doesn't really mean much. So that should resolve the question that I get asked a lot, is what is your hotkeys on Meepo? Just gonna quickly go through them one last time in case someone's still unsure. So I have net on Q cast, I have W as my poof on quick cast, I have my first three items on F1, F2, F3, and my second three items on Alt 1, Alt 2, Alt 3. I usually put TPs and stuff here. I didn't have my 5 Meepos on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's pretty much it, guys. Using control, select all of them, obviously box them whenever. That's it, guys. So hopefully that helps you out with Meepo. If you're starting Meepo, hopefully some of that information I gave you can help you in playing him. See there, I didn't do the poof, didn't do the blink quick enough, so they didn't come up quick, so they didn't latch quick enough. Usually, this take a while to get used to, but keep doing that over and over. So yeah, guys, I really hope that helped. Please do look out for more videos. Thank you very, very much for watching. Let me know if this helps you in the comments section. Give it a like if it did. If it didn't help you, and you think I ranted on a bit too much, dislike it or whatever. But thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.